Hi, I'm Sanjay Bansal, and I'm a Partner Solutions Engineer at Stripe. What you just saw right now is Alison Rose just having a fantastic experience and getting ready to buy her car. We're now moving into the next phase of the end-to-end experience, and this is the critical part because this is where Alison Rose becomes a buyer from a shopper. It's really important for us to give her the same delightful experience that she's been having throughout, especially at this time because she's so excited to go ahead and buy her car. With Stripe, we make payments really easy. There are three areas that we really focus around when it comes to money movement. One is providing for the best experience, providing all the different payment methods that a consumer would require. Secondly, making it secure. And lastly, ensuring that we are complying to all the regulatory requirements around money movement. So what I'm going to do over the next couple of minutes is show you a quick demo of what Alison Rose is experiencing. Alison now is getting ready to make a down payment for a car, for the accessories that she bought, and also the two subscriptions around hands-free driving and for EV charging. Right over here, as you can see on the screen, we have a Stripe hosted page, which is PCI compliant, that shows all the different options that she selected and all the information that we need from her in order to make the payment. We already have her email address because we've already created a profile for her, and all that Alison does is goes ahead and clicks on the button to get ready for the payment. And what we realized that Alison has actually made a previous purchase from one of the hundreds of thousands of merchants who use Stripe as a payment engine. So at this point, we have all her information and we send her a secure code to her cell phone, and she goes about entering that secure code. As you can see, we have all our information and she's ready to subscribe. So she has gone from getting ready to pay for all the different options in the car within 5 seconds itself. Now, this is the power of the Stripe network, where we have all her information available and makes for an easy payment experience. Let's take a quick look behind the scenes of what's actually happening within the Stripe dashboard itself. So on the dashboard, the dealer can see that Alison has made a payment, and it has a list of all the information about her, about the subscriptions she's made. And more importantly, we also have a fraud engine that's baked into the system, and it tells us information about where she lives, where actually the credit card was used. So this really helps in controlling fraud. We also see all the related payments that she may have made in the past using the same credit card, which may be with Henderson Auto or with other merchants that she may have dealt with. Now, if you take a look at the product catalog, you can see all the different products that are available that can be used for having Alison make her payment itself. And we also have payment links, which allows us to list all the different options. We can create a payment link which is easy to share with Alison in the form of a URL or as a QR code. She can easily scan the QR code or click on the link and actually make the payment itself. Finally, we have a list of reports that Henderson Auto can see regarding their balance and other related information about the number of purchases made during the month and things of that sort. So what you've seen real quickly over here is the breadth and the capabilities of Stripe making money movement as easy as possible.
As part of the personalization of the customer journey, going through purchasing a vehicle through an online marketplace or a commerce platform such as Spryker, part of that is reducing the friction for a consumer as they're purchasing the vehicle. So to increase the personalization through the consumer and the dealer, part of that is ingesting documents that are required in order to finance the car or get a car loan or originate the car loan. What we utilize here are AI services from AWS to be able to intelligently extract information from those documents in order to automate that process and reduce the amount of time it takes for a consumer to be able to go through that process and get a quick return on whether or not they can purchase a vehicle through financing. So what we see here today is an example of a couple of documents that a consumer might ingest or a dealer might ingest from a consumer in order to go through that financing process. So as we walk through, we have these documents that are ingested. We don't know what these document types are. The most important piece of this process is going through the classification of these documents, meaning trying to have the artificial intelligence understand and determine what type of documents these are. Once it's determined what type of documents these are, we also provide confidence scores in terms of how confident are we that is the document type that the model suggests. So here we see a pay stub, driver's license, different varied documents. The most important piece of this is that now that we know the types of documents that these are, we can route them to the most intelligent extraction layer and be able to extract as much information from these documents as possible in the most accurate way possible. Also, this can be a step in the workflow where if someone uploads the wrong type of document, we are able to stop that workflow get back to the consumer and let them know immediately that they need to upload a different type of document or another version of that document that will go through the cycle. So again, this is to reduce that friction that customers may have and reduce the amount of time it takes for them to actually go through the loan process. The next step in this is the extraction layer, which is when we pull all of the different information from the different forms that are ingested. As we can see here, this is a sales contract that has run through our core services such as Amazon Textract and Amazon Comprehend. What we see here are confidence scores for every single entity that is extracted from the page. These confidence scores are able to suggest how confident the model is in determining what is actually on that page. As we extract all of these values, what we refer to as key value pairs, a key being something like first name, the value being the actual first name of that person that is purchasing that vehicle, we are now able to intelligently have all of these fields that are correlated to each other. The reason that this is important is that it reduces the amount of post-processing. In traditional OCR, you would have all of these entities extracted, but there would be no correlation between someone's first name and someone's last name. Thus, you would have to go in after and be able to re-correlate them back once they're extracted from the page. This is extremely time-consuming and it's a lot of manual work. This is where the model helps in. These models are pre-trained, so they don't require extensive training. They don't require any training on certain types of documents, and you're able to ingest any document type to be able to extract these different values. We also have different features of this where you're able to ask natural language questions against the documents, such as what is this person's VIN number, and to be able to get that value in near real time rather than searching through a single page or multi-page file to be able to find that information. So what we would do is we can select a natural language question, or we can type in a natural language question of our own and be able to determine what that value is out of the page itself. Such as what is the buyer's name, we could see it pop up, where it is in the document, what the confidence score is, and where on the page it is. The next layer of this, now that we have all of the information extracted, we can actually redact personally identifiable information, or PII data or PHI data. So if you're sending this to a third party or a different stream or a different department where they are unable to or should not see personally identifiable information, we're able to actually redact that on the document before we send it through. So we refer to this as document enrichment. So we're able to redact the different pieces of information up to you as a customer before you send it out to third-party systems or different departments within your own company, again, so that they don't see specific information about the consumer that they don't need to. The last layer of this, once we have all this information classified, extracted, and enriched, is creating the workflow that is up to you as a customer to be able to determine what is necessary for your specific dealership or your commerce platform. In this section, at a high level, we have all the confidence scores at a document level. So you can see how confident the model is in the different types of documents that you have, and you can create business rules around this. So you can set a threshold of your own up to whatever confidence score you'd like. If it doesn't meet that requirement, you can send it off to human review for validation, ideally getting as little exceptions as you can to human review, whereas most of it is being handled by the models themselves. So again, we're trying to reduce the amount of time it takes to go through all of these documents and produce the results from the extraction layer. Secondly, you can go one step further, which is actually creating different business rules for every single entity that is pulled out of those pages. These entities are up to you as a customer to determine which ones are important to you. So it could be as simple as what is the VIN number, what is the person's first name, last name, what is their address, or it could be as granular as figuring out their second home address, what the payment plan was, what their net pay is. Any type of information that you can get from the file, you can create a business rule around. And lastly, you can do cross-document verification. So if there are multiple files or multiple documents that you're receiving from a consumer, you can actually do name matching between the different documents, such as does their first name and last name match on both documents, or does their street address match on the different documents that they provided. Again, there might be misspellings or it might be a different address. This will also help reduce fraud, but at the same time, it will also, again, reduce that amount of time that it takes between the consumer and the dealer to be able to move through this process. So the real value that we're seeing out of this entire workflow, and this is built into different commerce platforms such as Spryker, is that we are reducing the amount of time it takes from the consumer to the dealer and the entire relationship and increasing the productivity of that relationship. We are also creating a know your customer by extracting all of these different values that dealers or OEMs have not been able to extract before. They now have a more layered profile of their consumer and thus can target their consumer with more personalized ads or further subscriptions that are based on the information that is extracted from the consumer.